guys, welcome to the Crochet Life of Sophie. I'm Sophie. In today's tutorial, we'll be making a crochet chunky mini bag. So what you're going to need is a t-shirt yarn. Please bear in mind that t-shirts yarn are very different, so that's also going to affect the crochet hook size that you'll be using. I'll be using a 9mm crochet hook size for today's tutorial. Depending on the size or the width of your t-shirt yarn, feel free to size up or even size down. I'm going to try my best to measure the width of this yarn. It is quite stretchy. What you're going to need is a tape measure, a tapestry needle for weaving in your ends, and some scissors. This is me sort of like trying to measure the width of the yarn. I'd say it's probably 2.5 because it keeps on curling up, so it's hard to measure that. Therefore, I'll be going with a size 9mm crochet hook. I'll start off by making a slip knot. I'll leave enough tail to weave in, and this is how I make a slip knot. I then take my crochet hook, insert it and adjust. I'm gonna begin by making a chain of 15. This chain of 15 is actually going to determine the length of the bag. If you'd like a longer bag, make more chains. And if you'd like a shorter bag, make few chains. I'm going to skip the first chain and make a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. I've made a single crochet. I'm going to continue to make single crochets in each and every chain across until I get to the end. I know this yarn is a bit dark, but I have to use what I have, so please bear with me. I'm going to continue making single crochets until I get to the end. Now I'm making the last single crochet in the last chain. I'm going to make a chain 1, turn my work, so this will be the base of the bag. Make a single crochet in each and every stitch across. Now I'm going to make the last single crochet, chain 1, turn my work, and make a single crochet in each and every stitch across for the third and fourth row. So now this is the third row. I'll be making single crochets in each and every stitch. Now the third row is done. I'm going to chain 1 once again, turn my work, and make single crochets in each and every stitch across. And that'll be the last row for the base of the bag. Now I'm about to make a single crochet in the last stitch of the fourth row. Now that I'm done with the fourth row, this is the base of the bag. What I'm going to do now is to make single crochets around. I'll be working on the side stitches. This is where I'll be inserting my crochet hook and making a single crochet. I'll also make a single crochet here as well. Now that I'm done, I'll make a single crochet here. Now we are on the opposite side of the base. I'll continue to make single crochets across until I get here. Now I'm done making single crochets. Now I'm gonna make a single crochet here. I'll be crocheting this tail as I go. With that being said, I'll be working on the side stitches once again, making single crochets. I'm gonna try to insert my crochet hook here. And I'll also insert my crochet hook here. What's going to happen here is I'll begin to work single crochets in the back loop for a total of 1 round. This is where I'll start to work a single crochet in the back loop. I'm going to insert my stitch mark in order to remember where I started. I'll make a single crochet in the back loop in the next stitch. I'll continue making single crochets in the back loop for a total of 1 round until I get to the stitch marker. Now that I'm done working a row of single crochets in the back loop, you can decide to flip your work inside out or keep it as it is. I'm just going to continue making a single crochet in each and every stitch across, and when I get to the stitch marker, I'm going to remove it, work a single crochet, and then place back the stitch marker until I'm happy with the height of the bag. Right now it is short, so I'm just going to crochet until I'm happy with the height of the bag. I've gotten to where the stitch marker is. I'm going to remove it, work a single crochet, place it back, and I'm going to continue making single crochets around. And remember, if you like the inside, you're more than welcome to flip the back inside out to something like this. This is the progress so far. I love how the bag is looking like. Now I'm gonna start working on the handles. I have made a total of 10 rows, counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you do prefer this side of the bag, you can keep it as it is. I'll be flipping mine inside out, but what I'm gonna do that, or before I do that, is I'll get started on working on the handles. I'll be placing the stitch markers on the sides of the bag. I'm done working a single crochet here. I'll be placing the stitch markers on the sides of the bag for now. Here's where we'll be able to determine where to start working on the bag handles. I'll be working 7 stitches before I can start making a chain of the bag. This stitch with the stitch marker does count as a stitch, so I'll make 6 more single crochets so that I can have a total of 7 single crochets before I can begin to work a chain of the bag strap. The first stitch is done. We'll make the second one, third one, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I've worked 7 stitches, including the stitch with the stitch marker. Before I can begin making a chain, now I've made 7 single crochets. I'm going to count from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is where I'll be making single crochets from, and this is the space we have in between the bag. That's where we'll be making a long chain. I'll be making a chain of 15. Now that I've made a chain of 15, I'm going to count from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 stitches on this side and we've got 3 stitches left. I'm going to attach here with a single crochet. And before you could attach with a single crochet or a slip stitch, make sure your chain is not twisted. I'll continue single crocheting until I get to the stitch marker. Now I've made 6 single crochets. I'm going to make the 7th one where there's a stitch marker. And I'm going to place it back. The stitch with a stitch marker does count as the first stitch for this side of the bag. So I'll be making 6 more single crochets before I can begin making a chain. Counting from where the stitch marker is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I've worked a total of 7 single crochets. I'm going to make a chain of 15 once again. Now I've made a long chain of 15. I still have to figure out where to attach the chain. So to make things easier, you could sort of compare to see where we attached from the opposite side. But what I'll be doing is I'll be counting from this stitch. In order to know exactly where to attach this chain, I'll be counting from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is where I'll be attaching with a single crochet. Just one more thing. Here we've got a gap of 4 stitches, and on this other side we have a gap of 3 stitches. It doesn't bother me, so I'll be continuing to crochet until I get to this side. And where the stitch marker is, I'm going to make a single crochet and place it back. Now I'm going to continue to work single crochets until I get to the chain. Now I've gotten to the chain. What I'm going to do is slip stitch in each and every chain. I'm going to slip stitch until I get here. I'm done making slip stitches. I'm going to make single crochets until I get to the other side of the bag. I'm still going to make a single crochet when I get to the stitch marker. When I get to the chain, on the handle I'm just going to make slip stitches. I've attached with a single crochet. I'm going to make a single crochet until I get to the stitch marker. Now where the stitch marker is, I'm going to remove it and make a slip stitch. And then chain 1. This is what the other side of the bag looks like. Please make sure to leave enough tail to weave in. I'll be using this needle to weave in my end. I'm just going to be inserting my needle and weaving in through anyway. And with that being said, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my tutorial. Please feel free to leave a comment if you guys have any questions or if you need clarity on anything. Remember to always be kind.